Hi, this is Jonesie with Jetters Northwest, and today on Get Jetting, I want to talk about hose guides for your hydrojetting hose, specifically like this one, a tiger tail hose guide. We'll talk about how to use these, the different ways you can use them to protect your hose from the dreaded cuts and scrapes and banana peeling that happens to so many jetting hoses as they're coming in and out of the pipe. Any of y'all that have had a jet hose blow out on you as you're working, it is not a fun experience. It's one of the biggest safety concerns we have when we're hydrojetting, because often this hose is close to our body, it's close to our face. Here's an example of, we just did a hose repair for this customer. They'd taken a little chunk out of their hose at some point, and of course it led to a blowout. And it's an easy repair and whatnot, but this can hurt somebody. Obviously it stops you in your job and you lose your productivity. Where does this happen? Well, typically cuts like that don't happen deep inside the pipe. They happen so often at our point of entry. Now this is a nice big 6-inch, easy access, but it's got a pretty sharp edge there. If I ran my arm against it, it would scrape me. And if I've got my hose in here and I'm working it and the nozzle is pulling against me and I pull against that edge back and forth, I can start shaving my hose, especially a new hose, hasn't been broken in and gotten a good grease layer on it. And in kind of a cut that gets down to the fiber braiding that holds the pressure is going to be a potential point for blowout. Also can lead to kinks and whatnot. So we want to protect our jet hose with a guide as we go in. Now, tiger tail hose guides have been around a long time, probably dating back to the 70s. This hose is primarily used for pumper trucks, guys sucking out porta potties and whatnot. But these little short sections with rope were created a long, long time ago. They're certainly not exclusive to us. They're great. They're very, very flexible, and they're pretty tough, and very smooth on the inside. So I simply can just put my jet hose in here, and as it goes around that corner, not only am I protecting my jet hose from that sharp edge, but also it's really slick in there. Now you can just use like a piece of pump suction hose, that works well. You want something that's not rubbery, but and these are obviously available everywhere. But the tiger tail has those advantages of being very slick on the inside, and with the rope, it allows you to tie it off. Like if I just stick that cover on there, now I know if I get loose a little bit here, the tiger tail is not going to disappear down in the pipe. That's something you obviously want to be wary of. Okay, here we've got a 4-inch access. This is a roof drain access. Pull the cap, and now we've got a couple different sharp edges that could damage our jetting hose. Obviously the top edge is pretty thin and sharp, but down here we've got a gored elbow, a segmented elbow, and as I reach down to as it turns the corner, there's a sharp edge there. So if I pull jet hose up hard against that, see that edge catching the hose, there's a good chance that I might gouge my hose. And I don't want to play in maybes, I want to be sure. So I can just take my tiger tail, get it around that first bend. Now I can work the hose and pull it really as hard as I want to and protect my jet hose. Okay, well, last application, and certainly not least, is actually the most common use of a tiger tail hose guide, and that's accessing a pipe via a catch basin or a manhole. Now, of course, we've got a sharp edge as we enter the pipe with the hose. You can see it's a pretty large pipe down there. I think it's a 12-inch. But it also allows us to swing the hose and the nozzle into the line. Now, it doesn't matter if that's shallow like this one is, or if you've got an 18-foot deep manhole. Now, we can tie this hose off. I usually throw the grate over on top of it. You can tie it off to your vehicle, your trailer, whatever. And now we've got a guide there, again, protecting the jet hose from a sharp edge. And in a situation like, again, a deep manhole, you really can't see always really that well, but you're typically, when you're jetting between manholes or like here between catch basins, you're probably rewinding the hose while you're jetting to flush the line. And of course, that's going to put tension on the hose. So we use that tiger tail guide to protect it from that sharp edge. Now, when using the tiger tail, there's a right way and a wrong way to enter it. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. When I was going into the pipe via clean out, you'll remember that I stuck the nozzle in at the rope end of the tiger tail, and that's to get the rope out of the way so I can drop the tiger tail into the pipe for those clean out accesses. But if I want to go into a manhole or catch basin, I definitely want to do it the opposite way. I want the rope out front to give me control. If I've got the rope at the back, I can't lift the end of that tiger tail up, right? So when I'm going to a deep access like a manhole or catch basin, I'm going to put the nozzle in the opposite end. Now I've got control with my rope to aim that jet nozzle into the pipe. Another place we can use tiger tails is getting around an edge that is not the pipe. Like in this situation, I want to jet between catch basins, but I can't pull the trailer all the way up and over it, which I would like to do. I'd like to have my pivoting guide just right over the hole so I can work it back and forth. Since I can't, I've got another sharp edge. So I've got a second tiger tail going here that's just going to protect my hose as I wind, because I'm going to wind back, of course, while I'm jetting, and keep from ripping it on the edge of that catch basin. And of course, so often when our jetter is parked out at the street or in the parking lot and our access is somewhere away from the machine and we got to walk out somewhere, we encounter these sharp edges. And get myself around that corner without damaging my hose. So again, whether we're protecting our jet hose from a sharp edge around a corner on our approach to the clean out, or more importantly, protecting our jet hose from a sharp edge and the pipe entry, you know, at about 50 bucks, the tiger tail is a pretty cheap investment, pretty cheap insurance policy to protect that expensive jetting hose. And of course, protect yourself, because again, any gouge or cut or peeling in this hose, any damage that happens to the inner braid is a potential blowout that could hurt you. So hope those tips help. Appreciate you watching. Give us a subscribe if you would. Give us a thumbs up. We can keep these videos coming. Get out there and get jetting.